Hi everyone, my name is Nate Cannon, and welcome to Behind the Scenes of how I made my first ever stop motion video. If you haven't seen it yet, click the link that is somewhere floating around my head, or the link in the description below to see it. I had a lot of fun creating this video on the unit circle, but I could not have done it without the star of the movie. So YouTube viewers, give a warm welcome to Lego Man.
Hi everyone, great to be here. Thanks for having me on the show, Nate.
My pleasure, and let me say, working with such a professional and movie star as yourself, it was an honor having you on the set, making this the best production possible, as well as sharing your veteran movie experience from your time in Hollywood and space.
No problem, Nate. In fact, there really wasn't much I had to do when I got here from my starship. You already had a lot of things thought up ahead of time.
Like what?
Well, for starters, you had the lighting. Lighting is so important in movies. As you can see from the picture here, you had 11 sets of lights set up all around the room, with a few more off stage ready to go just in case more lighting was needed.
I knew that lighting would be important.
Yes, it is, but equally important was the camera being used and how it was set up.
You're absolutely right, Lego Man. I had a difficult time coming up with a setup so the camera angle would be the same every time I went to take a picture. I set up my iPod to take pictures set up on meter sticks that I had borrowed from a classroom. This way I could mark with on the ruler where my iPod was in case the camera, the large sheet of graph paper, or table got bumped and had to be set back up. It took close to 1,000 pictures to make this almost 4-minute video, which was way more time than I ever thought.
Now you know what actors go through when we have a motion picture to be in. It sometimes takes days for us just to get one scene.
Amazing. Speaking of time, was it hard to do this video in one take?
No, not really. In this business, you get used to the long hours and days. It's just part of the process. I bet the post-production work was challenging.
You have no idea. I went through a couple of video editing programs before the Windows Live Movie Maker program won the bid to help produce such a great video. The opening and ending credits were not that much of a challenge. Dealing with the bots on my Creative Commons music is a whole other issue, but the real difficulty was finding the right amount of timing for each picture in order to get the story across.
You mean there was different timing? I just thought you caught my lightning-quick reflexes in slow motion animation perfectly.
Sorry, Lego Man. While you may think that, a lot of that went to the special effects of working with the timing of each picture. Did I already mention there was close to 1,000 pictures in this video?
Unless the Proclaimers are your musical guests on this show and you are plugging their classic song, I'm Gonna Be, also known as 500 Miles. Then yes, you've said it once and we got it. Even 1,000 pictures does not mean a lot of screen time.
I was just making sure. Actually, that is a classic song, and I'm thankful I found a Creative Commons version of it by Jules E.D. on YouTube. Anyway, the special effects timing was the most important part to the stop-motion video. I had to make sure the speeds were consistent during the moving parts, but when the math sections, which in my opinion were the most important parts, came up, I had to make sure that future viewers could actually see how the triangle that made up the unit circle was constructed.
That makes sense, Nate, which was actually a big reason why I signed on to help you make this video after I read the script. I liked how you broke down each major triangle of the unit circle and demonstrated how it is the exact same triangle showing up 4 times. The real tricky part is which quadrant's characteristics the triangle's X and Y values take on.
I completely agree with you, Lego Man. The 30, 60, 90 triangles were all one lightsaber color, and the 60, 30, 90 triangles were a different color.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know that your use of colors with all of those writing instruments was great. being a little different for every new thing that showed up really made the pieces of the unit circle come together. I especially liked the pencil trick you did by drawing in arrows like they were guiding them to the next triangle, then erasing them after an appropriate time. Brilliant!
Thanks. That means a lot to me coming from you. Where was I? Oh yeah, colors. And the 45-45-90 triangles were a third lightsaber color. I really believe that the different colors could definitely help the students better understand the unit circle.
Absolutely. And before I forget, the props you used to describe the triangles and how they were individually constructed were fun to work with. They all knew their roles and what they had to do. I bet it was a test of your patience having to write every single part of the problem one step at a time, and make it dark enough for the camera to see, and realizing that if you screwed up, you would have to start all over again.
It was a lot of pressure, but that is why we are getting paid the big jelly beans to help make these productions the best that we can to help other people better understand such an important yet sometimes confusing topic like the unit circle.
I agree. Speaking of which, I had already ducked out of the shot when you pictured the final sequences. The quote you had sounded a lot like something Yoda would have said. How did you do that?
You got that little reference, didn't you? I knew you had exited through the origin of the circle, and I wanted something to come out from that spot since hopefully the viewers were focused on where you went. So I took a picture of "Done We Are" before it was crumpled, then crumpled it a little and took a picture of it, and repeated the process until it was a little crumpled up ball of paper and took the final picture. I then in post-production flipped the order of it so it looked like it was a ball that was opening up.
I liked it. Outside of the math work and showing all of the steps, it was one of my favorite parts.
Well, thanks, Lego Man. So, we're almost done with the interview, but before you go, what are you going to be doing now that the video is out there for everyone to see?
Well, I have a couple of projects and new movies that I am working on, but really I am going to be keeping out of the public eye as best as I can and getting ready for the next episode of Doctor Who to come out.
Wait, you're a Whovian?
Absolutely. I am a Whovian, a Trekkie. I'm actually a big fan of anything relating to my first love of traveling or being in space.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me, Lego Man. Thanks for coming on the show with me, and I look forward to talking with you again.
Anytime, Nate.
Lego Man, ladies and gentlemen. And that brings us to the end of our show. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.